Hello again. Welcome to NFT Talk. I'm your host, I guess, Craig, and I'm going to try to pack this all into just a few minutes. I guarantee this video will not be longer than 5 minutes, and I'm going to do my best to keep it even shorter than that. In my first video, I mentioned the phrase floor price, and I realized, wow, I almost like poked myself into some of the things I wanted to potentially talk about and maybe help other people with. What the hell is the floor price of an NFT? And I'm not, I mean, even committing to how deep I'll go. I know that I want to talk about individual projects and talk through the things I've learned. And I'm again a super lay person, but I have spent about 150, maybe 200 hours of research, of YouTube, of reading, Discord, and videos, and just taking in new stuff. And big shout out again to Zeneca33, great follow on Twitter. But I use this as an example of what the floor price is, and that's the lowest price you can get an NFT for. Okay, and for these examples, I'm gonna use OpenSea as an example here. Now, OpenSea, which is OpenSea.io, is basically, think of it like this: think of it like eBay for NFTs. That's really what it is. That's the simplest thing. So when you go to OpenSea and you can actually click into a project, right out of the gate, it's going to tell you how many there are, how many people own one of them, the average price, and then the total volume traded, which is kind of interesting because, again, some people look at this and they're like, wow, average, oh, that's the floor. Well, that's not exactly true. So that's the average over the length of the entire project, right? The floor is what the lowest is going for now. And if you don't have somebody awesome like Zeneca33 here to basically put it up there for you, 129 is what it is, 1.29 ETH. There's a couple of ways you can actually go in here and use some of their filtering. You can view kind of all the NFTs and you can try to sort by recently sold. Sometimes that can help you out a little bit because it'll pop up all the ones recently sold. And you can even see the floor is actually trying to come up on this, obviously. So one sold for 145, 1.25, 1.6, 1.33, 1.3, 1.34. 1.34. Interesting, right? Seems like it's even coming up from when Zeneca made this report earlier. Now, there's another thing you can do, but this really takes that next step where you're into Discord. I'm giving an example of one where if you're in your Discord, many of them have set up these bots where you can actually do exclamation point floor, and it'll literally just spit out the price. So just for fun, just to see how close I was over there, I'll go into the one, and hopefully that won't annoy everybody too much. So I'm going to see if it works in there. So the OpenSea floor is what it's pulling is from 1.25, but it looks a little out of date there just because I'm looking at these in real time, and maybe the bot's pulling. So this just sold. And again, it's interesting because learning the floors of project, meaning the lowest you can get it for, is very interesting. So again, when you go to OpenSea, you can search a project. I had pulled up the Gutter Rats, which is a kind of like we'll get into this in another video, how these came to be, but you see how they're averaging 0.59. But if you go in and you look at some of the ones that recently sold, you can kind of see 3.5, 3, 4.5, and you kind of really start to put it together. Again, I'm not in this Discord at the moment, but you can see how you can put all these things together and look at the actual sales, not just what people are selling it for, right? I talked about the goats in the first video. It's averaging 0.17, but what are they selling for? Like what is right now? What are you seeing in terms of activity? And 0.3, the one down at 0.1, 0.12, 0.12. So it looks like things are actually kind of cooling off, and you can get them on both sides of that average, meaning there's stuff under, there's stuff over. So to bring it all around, trying to help anyone who's interested, get on OpenSea. You can search projects. You can actually click right into anything, and then just start looking, start actually clicking, get into these filters, see what people are paying for stuff. The more time you put in before you make that purchase, the better chance you have for a really nice outcome. And of course, if you just like what you're looking at, just get it, right? And this is not financial advice. This is just what I did. So hopefully it's helpful to now know that the floor price of an NFT is just the lowest amount you could get in at any given time. See you again soon.